Okay, this is for the beach glass that I just did. Since it's two-sided, you're gonna wanna try to break it down to the middle to section it off if it wants to work. That's good. That way you have it even sides of each side. And then we're going to start with the Recollections champagne. And I don't section off the pieces, the amount that I need to do. I just kind of put it on until I feel like it looks good enough. Doesn't have to be even lines. This one does take a little bit more time to do because it needs time to make sure each part is completely dry. I don't seal all of the glitter. I dry brush some of it, and then whenever I'm done with the beaches, I will seal the complete beaches before I move on to the next part. And if you don't know what dry brushing is, it's whenever this is completely dry and then I take a brush like this and I will just remove all of the glitter off of it. That way sometimes whenever you have too much on, the sealer will clump up the glitter, and that way it won't do that. Now that the gold is completely dry, we're going to move on to the white. And you can bring up the gold a little bit higher if you want. It's all personal preference. Like I said, there's really no even lines. The white does take a little bit more coats because it's so hard to cover everything. So I will do multiple coats of the white, only because it's white. But the gold only has 2, the white probably will get 3, and then the blues will only have 2 as well. So the white is not completely done yet. I always add the last coat to it after I'm officially done with the other colors, because sometimes it tends to blend in and white's hard to cover up. So I will wait till I'm officially done, and before I seal them I will go back and I will add more white to it, because right now it only has 2 coats and I need to do at least 1 more coat. So we're just going to start with the first blue right now. I always start I make a line of where I want the blue to stop, and then I'll go back in whenever I'm done with the darker blue to blend it a little bit more. And for this one, I don't wait for the blue to dry. I will move on right to the dark one. Because these two are going to blend anyways, so there's no point of waiting. And I only do a little thin line to get it started. But there will be two coats of this, both colors as well. And I always have the glass facing down, like the top of the glass facing down. That way the glitter will go downwards instead of blended into the other colors, because it's not sealed completely yet. And I don't want them to blend together. And that's what it will look like right now. And then whenever these two dry, I will go back in and I will Mod Podge the whole thing, and then I will do the ombre look type thing. So I gotta just let this dry for now. Okay, now that the blue is dry, we're going to just completely Mod Podge the whole thing. I dry brushed it before to get the extra glitter off. Apparently it didn't like the one side, so we have to add more to that side. And it doesn't matter if you get dark blue down here or not in the mix of putting more on. And whenever I do my ombre, I have it on an angle. That way I can get it to mix better and blend better. I'll start with the bottom and then... I didn't want to do that. It doesn't want to come out. I'll have to go back and put more blue right here because this spot got too much. I'm going to go back in and I'm going to fix up just right here a bit, and then I'm going to add more white, and then I'm going to seal it, completely seal it with the spray. I will saran wrap the top of it the best I can, as close as I can, and then I'm going to saran wrap this side too so the sealer doesn't get on this side either, and then we're going to start the other parts where the trees and umbrella are. So we're gonna let this dry. Actually, I might leave that part. Okay, now that this is dry, we're gonna move on to the trees. For the trees and umbrella, I use vinyl as a stencil, and typically you would take the outside of it off, but I'm going to remove the whole tree. But I'm going to trim it up so that way I don't have that much vinyl on. I just want the outline of it. what I'm going to do is just put the transfer tape on top of it, because I don't want the whole thing covered, because it's difficult to begin with to place this on the glitter itself. So I just want a little piece to start with. You just have to be careful trying to get it off and not pull the whole design up. Because the vinyl doesn't want to stick to the glitter itself. So that way if it's sticking to the glass, you have a little bit of room to play with, and it's not going to go anywhere. You just need it for the outline anyway, so it doesn't have to be completely perfect. I have to do this in sections, glitter-wise, because it will dry quicker than I can apply the glitter. Love you too, honey. Love you too. I'm just going to dry brush some of the color off. That way whenever I take off the vinyl, it doesn't go everywhere. I try not to get under the vinyl. If anything, I will wipe it off of the vinyl towards the glitter. That way it's still giving me the outline of it, because it's not sticking to it. I don't wait for this to dry because I like to go back over and clean up the spots, and that gives me a better idea where I need to. So I won't wait till this is dried to peel this off. And I gotta go back and fix the bottom of this one. And I usually only have to do one coat on the bottom half, unless I have to touch up a couple of spots. But on the glass I have to do 2 coats, because you can still see the glass. I'm gonna let that dry a little bit so before I dry brush it. So we are going to move on to the next tree. Okay, now that we have the stencil on this one, we're gonna just do the same thing. Do the tree, do the green first. And I tried to put the thinnest layer of Mod Podge on possible. I'm gonna let that dry before I take the little brush in between and get the extra glitter off. Now comes the umbrella. Same thing with this, you just peel off the middle part. And you can place it wherever you want. I just chose to put it by the tree. And this isn't going to stick to the glitter. The vinyl will not stick to the glitter, so you just have to kind of work with it and just either hold it down with one finger or just try to trace around it, which is what I do. And I kind of hold it down with my pinky. Hold on, honey. And I chose this coral color that I got from Britches and Bows. And I just kind of feel like the coral makes it pop a little bit. But you can use any color that you want for it. And once it's completely dry, it makes it easier for me to go back in and dry brush it and get the extra color out. Then comes the bird. Now we're going to do the bird to finish this side up. You can place the bird anywhere. You can choose any type of bird. You missed me last night? I was home last night, kid. We'll do another coat of glitter on Mod Podge and glitter on that one, on the black, once it completely dries. But for the opposite side, you're going to do the same thing, just different colors. You're going to just do the, the sunset. But that's all it is. It's the same technique, just different colors. You just do the beaches first and seal those, and then you move your way up to the trees and sunset and stuff. But it's super easy once you get the hang of it. Trying to get this tape off. So you can and of course I have to clean off this side of the glass before I work on it. Get the residue of the tape off. When you go to seal it, if you choose to seal it, I just tape around the spots to seal it to get everything off. Not everything off. You don't have to seal them, because it is a little bit of a pain to try to seal it and not get the sealer off on the glass. Once it's completely dry, you can just dry brush it to get the excess glitter off, which is what I probably will do for this one. I literally sealed every part of the first glass. But you'll find out what works for you and what doesn't. It just saves you a headache of trying to work around the glitter. But that's all it takes, is just patience and lots of time. And you get this beautiful beach glass out of it. And like I said, you will just flip over the glass and just do the different colors. Just do what the sunset, whatever colors you want. You can choose whatever colors you like. I chose those because it reminds me of Florida sunsets, so that's what I went with. Like I said, you can choose whatever colors you want though, but it's the same technique on that side as it is on this side. So that's all it takes.